Hi, I'm Cristina Smith, creator along with my brother, puzzle master Rick Smith, of the award-winning, best-selling Yoga for the Brain series of profound philosophy and super-duper fun puzzle books. Today we are celebrating the release of our sixth best-selling book in the series, Life Wisdom Word Search, Yoga for the Brain, featuring 60 contributing authors. And today you are not seeing double, so don't worry. We have with us the therapy twins, Jane Buckley and Joan Landino, who are the authors of puzzle number 35, Ask Your Heart. Hi, Jane and Joan, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves, and you can do it all at once in symphony or one at a time.
Okay, so Jane and I have been nurses, RNs, since the early 80s. I went straight into psychiatry, even though everyone said I could not. Jane has an extensive medical background. And then we're both master's prepared psych nurses as well, and used to have our own private practice where we worked together, saw clients separately and together. And now we are authors.
Now, that's awesome. So
Wonderful.
Where are you located?
In Wallingford, Connecticut.
Oh, great. And important question, who's the oldest?
I am.
By how long?
A huge 2 minutes.
Oh my goodness. But do you always wear the oldest crown? Or
Definitely.
I try to, and then Joan will buck the system.
I'm the baby. I'm not going to buck anymore because apparently I'm a baby, so I look younger.
Right. Which is bad when you're younger and good
Yes.
when you're older.
I know, right.
So let's talk a little bit about Ask Your Heart. And I love what you talk about in there about how your heart wisdom is different than your brain wisdom. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Absolutely. First of all, that brain is quite a muscle, and it probably thinks way too much. But Joan has a lovely story about how the heart usually comes in when things matter most.
Oh, just if somebody is a firefighter, or excuse me, they're not a firefighter, and they run into a burning building, and what they say is, I didn't even think. That's your gut talking. But is it your gut, or is it really your heart talking?
Yeah. So we have our brain, and we have our gut, and we have our heart, and then of course we also think with our sexual organs sometimes too. So what do you know which part of you, when do you know which part of you to listen to?
That takes practice, because I think when we are first born and nurtured, everything is coming from the heart, and then life happens, and this brain organ allows us to do so much thinking, and so much, just sometimes too much thinking, and we can start writing theses and novels about it. But truly, if you want to go deep, and I do say ask your heart, because when you sit quietly and you want to ask your heart, you know the answer. You have the answer, and then the brain will take a little while to admit that, yeah, you've got that right. And sometimes the brain refuses to admit it out in public or aloud, but it knows. It really does know.
And to give an example of that, not Star Wars, our generation. Captain Kirk. Star Trek, Captain Kirk and Spock. Spock would say it wasn't logical to go and save those people, but Captain Kirk always made the human decision, and that comes from the heart.
Well, that's really brilliant. So so you have to determine who's talking in your head, and after listening to all your different parts for a while, you become understanding of which is which. And to me, sometimes what comes from your heart is what comes into your consciousness when you weren't thinking about anything. A lot of times your heart messages come when you're taking a walk or taking a shower or looking at something beautiful, and images or words or however inspiration comes to you appears. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. So I'm going to ask each one of you, What kind of puzzles do you like? And we'll start with Jane.
Oh, good. Anyone who knows me knows that I love word searches. So this was just amazing for me because I'm over here looking to see which words I can get out. I have so many little apps and handwritten things where just finding the words. I don't know why it's so fun for me.
And you like board puzzles too.
Yeah, but I like the word searches the best.
Cool. And Joan, how about you?
I think that I am more of a solitary person. So I actually like solitaire, and I wasn't even sure if that was a puzzle, but I Googled it. It is. What my nephew helped me. What I like is a practical puzzle, such as getting the most dishes in the dishwasher and they still maintain being clean. That's the kind of puzzle I guess I'm really good at.
Yeah, and like when you go on a big shopping run, getting everything into your car just right.
Right.
I'm
Or
just
in your
gonna-
suitcase.
Absolutely. So I have a bonus question because I
Oh,
work
boy.
with my brother and we're not twins. We're almost 3 years apart. So what do you love about being with your sibling your whole life and working together? What's your favorite thing?
Well, I'm the younger twin. I always loved being a twin, and I always thought Jane was my best friend. Now, she'll say she is, but when we were younger, she would say, "You're my sister. I have friends." But I always thought that. So by working with Jane and having her there, for me, is incredible. It just soothes me. It's calming. But also, she always gives a different perspective if I'm having a question while we're working or something like that. There's always somebody there with a different perspective.
Oops. So, I'm gonna say ditto. But one of the things I really like about Joan, and I don't know. I mean, I think we all know that laughter is healing, humor is healing. Joan is a natural-born comedian, and sometimes the things that come out of her mouth just make so much sense to me. Of course, I'm thinking, where did you come up with that? Like, what are your life experiences that you would even think that way? And she has me laughing, but then, there's truth in jest. And so sometimes when she comes out in the comedic way, I find it to be profound wisdom. And I don't know, it's just,
Wow.
I count on her. I count on her for that. And she always comes through.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, we actually have 2 puzzles on humor in here, in addition to your wonderful puzzle, Ask Your Heart, and other ways and perspectives of looking at life in these 60 different puzzles with these, actually it's 61 different authors because you're a twofer.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pick up your copy of Life Wisdom Word Search Yoga for the Brain at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Target.com, and at independent bookstores everywhere. Thanks so much for joining us, ladies. And
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Happy puzzling.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.